Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with more Pokemon Scarlet, and as you guys know, we are working on our classes here today. We are going to go into the next class. We actually already finished up with Time, and we also finished up with Jacques. Now that was our biology and math classes. Today we're going to go into history. So let's jump on in here and take a look to see what we've got with Miss Raifort. Raifort or Raifort? I think it's Raifort. I could be wrong. Post your comments down below. Is it Rai or Raf? Is the I silent? I don't know. Here we go. Oh, this one. This one, she's got like a bunch of like cool like belts and jewelry and stuff like that on it. That it's like Pokemon from like other generations and stuff. And you know what I just noticed? If you look at the back on the actual chalkboard, you can see the Pokemon Legends Arceus information that's on the backdrop there. You can see the previous professor, you can see the Pokeball, you can even see the town, which is pretty interesting. But then again, it also looks like it's showing Paldea too. Wild. Oh ho! I see we have some new students here with us today. My name is Raifort. I will be the one to impart knowledge on the past to your little minds. History is a wonderful thing, truly splendid. The lives of our ancestors throughout history forged the path to the present in which we live. Today, you should all learn about the most mysterious location in all of Paldea, the Great Crater. As you are all aware, a massive crater known as the Great Crater of Paldea exists in the heart of our region. The area inside this crater is called Area Zero, and research of its geological strata and material composition has shown that the crater is in fact over 1 million years old. It was long believed that a certain something rested at the bottom of this mysterious crater. Aha! Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Corey. Answer me this. What exactly was believed to rest in the depths of the Great Crater inside Area Zero? Treasure. That is correct. You are a surprisingly clever one, aren't you? I see you did your homework prior to coming to my class. That's right. Some believed that a treasure more valuable than anything else in this world rested in the depths of the Great Crater. So much for dreams and treasure hunting, though, as a lab has been built in those very same depths. Oh, and before I forget, you would all do well to remember that the Great Crater and Area Zero are both off limits to all but those who have official business there. Do not dare entertain the foolish notion of gallivanting off to Area Zero in search of riches. It is no place for children dreaming of treasure and adventure. Besides, if it were at all possible to investigate the area, I would surely be the first to do so. Oh, is it that time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Okay, let's go to history class number 2. Miss Raifort. I think Raifort is the name. I think that's the correct way to say it. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now part of history. Today, we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. About 2,000 years ago, this region came under the rule of the Paldean Empire. Historical accounts describe the Paldean Empire as being quite the dictator. This emperor also zealously believed the legend of the treasure that rests deep within Area Zero. I must mention that the civilizations of our ancestors were not as developed as ours is today. People back then were far more likely to believe in mysterious legends, magic, and beings beyond human comprehension. In an attempt to gain the power to stand against Paldea's neighboring countries, the Emperor sent people in droves to join the hunt for the fabled treasure of Area Zero. Aha! Perfect timing to make contact, young Corey. Answer me this. Approximately how many years ago was it that the Paldean Empire began to rule this region? If it was formed a million years ago, and they began to rule, what was it, 2,000 years ago? Or was it 1,000 years? I'm gonna go 2. Haha, yes, we got it right. You are a surprisingly clever one, aren't you? I see you're listening intently to my lecture. The answer is about 2,000 years ago. This is when the great era of exploration began. However, it is said that not a single adventurer sent out by the Emperor ever reached the depths of Area Zero. Was it the punishing journey itself that barred their way, or perhaps some unknown creature? The resounding failure of this great era of exploration almost certainly heightened the air of mystery surrounding the crater. Oh, and what I wouldn't give to explore Area Zero in its untouched state at that time. I suppose I can only hope for the swift invention of a time machine. Oh, is it that time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Okay, let's go to history class number 3. Let's go to Miss Raifort's class. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. As you should remember from our last class, Area Zero's great era of exploration began about 2,000 years ago. This era lasted for approximately 1,000 years, but not a single soul was able to venture all the way to the deepest reaches of Area Zero. Having poured much of its human and financial resources into the exploration of Area Zero, for so long the Paldean Empire fell into decline. 200 years later, or 800 years ago, the Empire and its surrounding nations united into one entity. This was a formation of Paldea as we know it today. Ah yes, this very academy where you now filming... Oh my gosh. Ah yes, this very academy where you're now filling your young minds with knowledge was also apparently established at that time. In fact, this school's building, though certainly having undergone repairs throughout the years, is just as it was when it was built so long ago. This very structure is a piece of history. Things of old are truly splendid. I would certainly prefer it not to have the Pokeball portion, though, a relatively new addition. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Corey. Let's see if you've been listening to my lecture. Tell me, approximately how many years ago was this academy established? 800. I see the look of concentration on your face was indeed just that. I hate nothing more than when a student only pretends to listen. This academy was constructed exactly 805 years ago, to be precise. In other words, your academy here is 805 years old. At the time, it offered state-of-the-art facilities and a uniquely innovative curriculum. As such, people used to say, those seeking knowledge need look no further than the oranges of Paldea. That's right, they are referring to Naranja Academy. It is said that this proverb of sorts was even used outside of the Paldea region. Oh, is it that time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. Our next class will be our midterm exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. Okay, let's go to the midterm. History midterm. Greetings, my little students. It is time for our midterm examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your mind and answer the questions. What is the name of the geological formation in the center of Paldea's region? It's the Great Crater of Paldea. What was long believed to rest in the depths of Area Zero? Treasure. How many years ago did the Paldean Empire begin to rule this region? 2,000 years. How many years ago was this academy built? It was 805. And those seeking blank need look no further than the oranges of Paldea. That would be C, knowledge. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. The last question was a freebie. Even the least capable of you surely padded your score there. I sincerely hope you did anyway. So ends our midterm examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. I love this tune. I could listen to this tune all the time. It feels great to get the test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. You must get 3 questions correct to pass the midterm exams, and 4 questions correct to pass the final exams. Let's see how you did on your history test. You answered 5 out of 5 questions correctly. That's a passing score. Congratulations! Miss Raifort asked us to give this reward to any of the students who passed the exam. Keep doing your best. Okay, let's go back to class. Back to the history. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures were as follows: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Corey. Answer me this. I said that one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Wooden planks for writing on? Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these paper substitute treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So, the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh, it's that time already. I wasn't done with the story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you are interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside of class hours. Do I go find out more of the story? This is the first teacher that wants to see us outside of class. I think we need to go find out the rest of the story. Staff room. Okay, let's go find Miss Raifort and find out the rest of the story. Yes, Corey from 1A. The way you conduct yourself in my class and the answers you give to my questions, I admit they pique my interest. You are quite the interesting pupil, I must say. Tell me, Corey, given a choice, which do you prefer? Things of old or things of new? I like the old stuff. So you prefer the things of the past, do you? The potential I saw in you was real after all. Yes, this one may indeed be of good use to me someday. She's got a Marshadow hairpin. She's got an Articuno necklace. She's got a... what's it called? A Nebby belt. I'm just going to call it a Nebby belt. And then her wrist looks like she has a Z crystal of some sort. It looks like a Z crystal. You can disregard that. I was simply thinking out loud. I enjoyed our little conversation today. You have my thanks, Corey. You became slightly closer with Miss Raifort. You are quite the interesting pupil. I want to hear more of the story. Okay. Guess we go back to the entrance hall? Okay, let's go to history. Now, we might actually have to meet all these teachers individually, outside of class. I never even thought of that. I just figured we'd have to do the actual classes. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson before, the midterm exam concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior Area Zero. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean Emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area Zero Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Perfect timing to make eye contact. Let's see if you're paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? Area Zero Expedition. The correct name for this team was the Area Zero Expedition. The record of their activities written by the expedition member Heath can be found in bookstores and the like even today. This record is known as the Scarlet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Scarlet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Scarlet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores and just another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy of one on the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you are interested. Okay, we must have gotten swept up in filling our minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Okay, let's go back to the history class. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about Area Zero's expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago. Not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lesson must march so inexorably towards the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march towards the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? So you agree with me, do you, Corey? However, I'm afraid I risk incurring the wrath of our dear director if I stray from the curriculum. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us towards the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of the terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind Terra Orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, Pokemon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may have already guessed, these were, in fact, terrestrialized Pokemon. However, when those who discovered these Pokemon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Corey. Answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon? I'm going to say Seda? Correct. To think that you, a new transfer to our academy, could correctly answer this question. You must be very diligent in your studies. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Seda unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. She discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather, the energy they emit, is what causes the Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent the Terra Orb technology and to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, the story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? Thus ends my history class. Our next session will be your final exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. Okay, we are going to be doing the final exam in the history class. Okay, let's go to Miss Raifort's class and see what our final exam has in store for us. Greetings, my little students. It's time for our final examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your minds and answer the questions. What is the area within the great crater of Paldea called? I'm going to say Area 0. How many years ago was this academy founded? 805. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about the 4 treasures? I think it's the folding fan. Which Area 0 expedition member wrote a record of the team's activities? That would be Heath. And how many years ago did Professor Seda invent the Terra Orb? That was 10 years ago. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. You must excuse that last question. It is too shallow and ridiculous to be on a history test. But alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. Okay, I'm pretty sure, guys, that I've got all 5 answers correct. I'm hoping we're going to ace this test with flying colors. It feels great to get a test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. You must get 3 questions correct to pass the midterm exams and 4 questions to pass the final. Let's see how you did on your history test. You answered 5 out of 5 questions correctly. That's a passing score. Congratulations. Miss Raifort asked us to give this reward to any student who passes the exam. Keep doing your best. Alright guys, so that is the end of Miss Raifort's classes. We've already passed the final. Hopefully this video was helpful to you in passing your own studies. And we will be back in another episode with another class. Hope you all take care and have a good one. Peace out.